I'm passionate about helping people in the second bloom of life to rekindle their joy and to reignite their passions. And I especially like to do that through creativity, through using your creativity to enhance your well-being and expand your life force. I've decided to put together these three videos as a free gift to you to help you, give you some practical tools to work on that. You know, I think it's really normal to hit those stuck spots. Anytime between the age of 40 and 90, we can hit that dead end, stuck in the mud, really dark place. I certainly have hit it myself. And because I spend a really difficult time in that sort of space, I really want to help you move through it more quickly. And before we get started, I want to introduce my cohort here, Marjorie Shellis.
I like that name, cohort. That's pretty good. Thank you, Lindy, and I really appreciate that you are allowing me to sit in on this today, because what you're doing is just phenomenal, and I am so excited to see you bring this to the world.
Thank you, Marjorie. You know, your own journey of the way creativity has been such, well, it's part of your life purpose, right?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. And I want you all to go visit her gallery, seahorsegallery.com, so you can see some of her amazing soul painting. Marjorie really has found that by re-engaging with her creativity, she's freed herself and given herself a whole new launch on life. So she's kind enough to be here today helping me with this.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for that plug for the website. I appreciate that, Lindy.
Absolutely. And besides which, you've done some amazing design work for me. When you get to see my new program banner, The River Thrive, it's this gorgeous picture. And when you see it and love it, you'll know that Marjorie designed it. So keep her in mind. So let's talk about creativity, because this is where it all comes about. Now, most people have an idea of what creativity is. And I, for years, really thought that creativity was the same as having a craft. So what I mean by that is that in order to be creative, you had to do pottery or knitting or quilting, or you had to be a writer or a painter or so forth. That's what it meant. To be creative, you had to have a craft. But I found something entirely different is true. Creativity is this amazing state of being. It's not a thing, it's a state of being. And where it is, where creativity is located, is between inspiration, because you've got this energy coming in, and expression. So whatever the task that you're doing, it's sitting in between inspiration and expression and allowing that flow to come through you. So whatever comes out is a combination of whatever you want to call the universe and your own energy, and this beautiful thing. That's creativity. And to say that it is invigorating is an understatement. It's really life-giving. I want you to think about your energy as if it were a river, like your life force, as if it were a river. For a body of water like a river to be healthy, it has to have plenty of inflow and healthy outflow as well. So creativity happens right in the middle of the healthy inflow and the healthy outflow. It's really kind of like a battery being recharged, just power in, power out, and you're there soaking it all up. Anyway, so when we hit those stuck places, the first thing to go usually is creativity, because you don't feel any energy, you don't feel like that would be a worthwhile use of your time, so it goes out the window. And what you aren't realizing is that that's the way that you get recharged. And by throwing that out as extraneous, you're losing a tool to your well-being. And you're cutting down your life force, literally. So let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about being stuck. As I see it, there's at least 3 ways to be stuck. The first one is where you're feeling cast adrift. Okay, so you're spinning around, you don't know quite where you are, where you're going, but you know something's missing. You're just adrift. Then there's stuck in the mud, or all washed up, where you have been cruising along on your path, you've had your goal in mind, you're working hard, you've got the pedal to the metal, and all of a sudden you find yourself washed up on some muddy shoal, and you don't know, how'd I get here? How come this is not that golden Atlantis that I expected my goal to be? what else is there, and what am I doing here? And then there's what I call at a loss, which comes about through any number of serious losses in your life. And that can be loss of a beloved, loss of a job, loss of a dream, or loss of your health, anything that's important, and that the loss was not something that you chose. So it has happened to you rather than you, rather than rather than rather than choosing it. Because when you choose to leave something behind, it's an entirely different experience. So I want to tell you about my version of being stuck and how I came through this journey, and basically it's why I'm doing this here with you today. So I had a dream to be an actress, and the dream itself is not important, but what is important is that I had set it kind of aside in my mind. It was like a little place to hide, a little place to think that if nothing else works out, I can have that someday. In other words, I wasn't playing it out really in life. I wasn't encouraged to do it, and so being the practical person that I was trying to be, I wasn't pursuing it. So I finally got around to really trying to pursue it when I was about 40, and let's just say it didn't go well. So when that door closed, because it had been my secret place of hope, it was like the universe saying no to me. It was really like the universe saying, nah, 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 you can't have it. And I can laugh about it now, but at the time, it was really, it broke me down. And it took me into a place where I didn't really want to stick around. And then I survived. And one of the ways I survived was simply by lowering my expectations of what life could be. And that's a really gray, dark zone. It's really not a place to live your life. It ends up being wasted years and wasted life, wasted love, wasted opportunities, so much waste of joy. And I want you to not spend a long time there. So that's my journey. So when I was in that dark place, there were two things that really brought me through it. And one was creativity, because I started writing at that time. And I found that when I was writing was the only time that I could quit thinking about death. It was just another space that was just completely separate from my everyday set of thinking, because I was sitting in that energy between inspiration and expression, and it was just carrying me along. That really buoyed me up, really gave me energy. And the other thing was learning to receive, and we're going to talk more about that in the next video. So I want to give you a practical step, something that you can do to feel better. Because what's the point of watching a video if you don't come away with something that you can actually do, right? Okay. So think again about a body of water. Let's think about one that's not healthy. It's sluggish. It's been dammed up for a while. It's like an ugly old bog. And the water quality, it stinks. It's ugly. There's googly stuff growing on it. And okay, you got it in your mind, I think now, right? So when you're in that kind of space personally, your first thought is, I got to get a new life, I got to get a new relationship, I got to find a new opportunity. So you're looking outside of yourself. What can I, where should I go? What do I do? You know, that kind of desperate looking for input. But the real truth is, and this is a really important secret, the truth is that you have to focus on outflow first. You have to focus on, where is my energy going? Not just where it's going, but how can I let out some of this crap I'm carrying around inside? And there are two ways that I recommend to do that. The first one is a genius tool developed by Julia Cameron. She calls it Morning Pages, and that's a perfectly good name. Let's call it that too. She requires that you get up every morning and you write 3 pages. And this act of writing is not about creating something beautiful. It's not about what ends up on the page. It's being a garbage dump. It's a place for you to put your emotions, your thoughts, the crap that's just sitting around there. It's, you know, your laundry list, how angry you are at your boss, you know, how pissed off you got at your kids who didn't do what you told them to, or, you know, whatever the case may be. It's just letting it out, putting it on the page, and then it's not completely gone because we're women, right? Our minds are always going, but it's at least partly gone. It's partly gone. So I want to cut that down from the 3 pages to a 1 page. This is a challenge to you. For the next 3 days, when you get up, write a page of stuff. Just write whatever's there. That's your morning page. That's one assignment. The second tool is getting your body into motion. Now, okay, you go, oh, everybody knows I'm supposed to exercise, but I'm exhausted. I don't have the energy to exercise. Why would I go move my body? Here's why. Your body is the vessel holding your emotional life. And by moving your physical body, the emotion body moves too. So I'm going to ask you to take a 15-minute walk every day for the next 3 days. Just 15 minutes. Longer is great, but 15 minutes is guaranteed. And while you're walking, you're going to start feeling things. Now look, if you're over 40, you have permission to talk to yourself. That's my rule. Once you hit 40, you can be a crazy old lady. Does not matter, okay? And besides which, I think it's extremely therapeutic because you can redo that conversation you had with so-and-so and you can make it come out right this time, you know? Just walk along and feel, you know, whatever crap is coming up. Just feel it. And, right, so you come out angry instead of depressed. Let me tell you, anger is a much more motivating emotion to be feeling than depression. So walk for 15 minutes. Write your morning page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go on down to the comments area and let me know about how that's working because I want to hear. Now 3 days is not going to turn your life over completely. So you're looking for little movement. You're looking for little bits of change in how you're feeling, little bits of change in the amounts of energy. So for the next 3 days, focus on letting go. And before I say goodbye here, I want you to consider joining my 7-day creativity challenge because this is the start of something new for you. It's free, it's easy, it's surprising. You're going to find it so simple you're going to say, well, what's the point? But there is a point, believe me. So consider going to sign up for that. Marjorie, where should I go to do that?
If they would go to theriverthrive.com, they can get all of the information there. They'll see that pretty new banner that you talked about. Thank you again for that. And Lindy, I just want to tell you that I felt like you were reading my mind on some of those things, the whole walking piece and all of that. So thank you, because I really feel like you're in touch with exactly, even where I'm at now, even though I have gone through, like you said, the health loss and other things, the creativity is there, but now I'm starting to feel that surge that I'm going to get even more. And I'm so excited. Thank you for this.
Absolutely, because that's the point. You don't have to be at the bottom of the barrel to get more. You know that your river of well-being can be fuller, it can be wider, it can be deeper, more abundant, more peaceful, more joyful. Wherever you are in life, creativity can ramp things up for you to where your life is that much more rich. So we'll see you next time.